hello everyone, and welcome to a special edition episode of the podcast with the CCA. I'm here at the Purdue 2025 Invitational with Zoe and Big Gay from Ohio State, specifically their leading Scarlet team, who's currently in Division 2 of the current CCA League. Do either of you want to say hello?
I'll think about it. Hi.
Hello.
All right. So you guys have been up to quite a bit lately. Do you want to talk about what your current happenings have really been with the CCA and just as a team as a whole?
In groups currently, we are 3-2 and we didn't expect to make playoffs, but due to a tiebreaker, we're set for playoffs, and we're actually going to do our first game after getting home on Sunday.
No way.
Gonna be a tight squeeze, but we clutch, I think. I think we lock in.
Yeah. This CCA season has been a little bit of a wild roller coaster, honestly, for our team. A lot of stuff happening behind the scenes, and we're not expecting to make playoffs. Really happy that we did. We're going to try our best to win again.
Yeah, it would be really funny to win Div 2 twice, I cannot lie.
Yeah, because last season in the circuit, you both won Division 2, if that's correct, right? Yeah, how was that whole experience kind of as a leading team there?
Insane, first of all. Because I don't know what we were expecting. I was just kind of going in just to have fun, and then I remember we were consistently getting top seed, and we were wait, we can actually just win this. And I remember we had 3-2 games in the lead up, but we clutched it again.
Yeah. I back when we were thinking about finals, I thought about it, and I was consistently every time I've won a bracket, someone from UCD Splatoon White has been in the lobby somehow, and it's always Pampers. I don't know how that's possible, but he's been in every single bracket that I've won, and the fact that he was there again just made it even more funny.
Yeah, you got that kind of ghost following you along almost, being oh, yeah. Hi, you got to go through me a little bit again.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Zoe, I remember you were originally on our gray team, and we forcibly promoted you. And I remember you told me, I'll do it, but we better win our div.
I did say that. I said I had high expectations for us.
And we might have done that.
Might have done that, yeah. I mean, you've done quite a bit too ever since Zoe has joined the team. How's the general Ohio State scene been with us, Splatoon Club, just your whole kind of group going on there?
Funny story is that we're still an official organization. We're still running in the shadows. But this fall we got so many applications. Overwhelmingly, I think we had 2 teams with 4 people each, and we got 12 applicants. And a lot of them have some of them have disappeared and realized they can't do the time investment. But we still have 3 teams now, and I'm very happy about that because I'm one of the founding members when it was just Scarlet, and we struggled to scrounge together 4 for a while. So this is very fun to see, and I'm hoping I'm graduating. I won't be there, but I'm hoping this fall we get another influx because
for sure.
I want to get back to 4 because we kind of had 4 teams, but I want 4 real teams. 4 real teams consistently pushing. Right. Yeah, that's always been kind of an interesting thing, which is how scenes grow across different colleges. With Purdue, for the longest time, we had 1 or 2 teams, and then eventually that was able to grow into 3, and then 4, and then we technically have 5 right now here, which is crazy to think about. And that's been kind of a similar case with a lot of other colleges, like Penn State, for instance. From the get-go, they had 1 team pretty consistently, and now they have 4, I think. Yeah. So quite a few other colleges have similar things going on. So seeing that growth at Ohio State, of course, exciting too. Especially even just 3 teams, that's a lot still. You have 12 people who are willing to sit down and play Splatoon at least once a week for CCA or other tournaments and stuff too. So, I mean, kind of as a founding member of the Ohio State kind of, unofficial scene even, but still a good group of people. What's kind of been your experience seeing a lot of that grow?
I remember, like, given that we don't have official club status, it's been really hard to, like, get people to know us. So, like, what we done is we just like put posters up literally everywhere. We like printed like a ton of them and just hope that people saw it. We got a QR code on there. That's how we got most of our members. I think we also like we're in talks with like we messaged the Buckeye Gaming Collective to get like an announcement like mentioning us and linking to our server. That's fun.
Great.
And I know we're also like in close contact with the leader of the esports.
Yeah, the director of the actual like esports organization at Ohio State. He's been a huge help in us getting like growth, as well as been giving us he's been letting us use the esports arena for whatever we need. So that's been a huge help.
Yeah.
Great.
I'm very lucky because we did have a beginning of the year like casual meetup. That was the first time we saw a lot of the new faces. That was fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
They just let us in. And we didn't even have to pay for the esports arena because you normally have to pay for a pass to get in.
Yeah, that's how Purdue is now too. They have a new arena at the co-rec gym building of all places, and like the basement around like where all the weights are. So you got like all the jocks who are like, oh, I'm gonna like lift 300 pounds. And then like in the room over with these glass doors, of course, too, you have all the gamers bending over their keyboards, like playing League and stuff. They tried to do a few things with Splatoon here. Unfortunately, it sounds like a lot of it maybe didn't go about as cleanly as they would like. So they're making more use of the game mine space here at the Memorial Union, which I think is for the best because that's where a lot of time has been invested already. But no, even like hearing stuff like that, that's of course really cool. And you're kind of establishing some of those relationships that hopefully, extend a bit further, things you continue to see development. On kind of the flip side, I'm kind of interested, Zoe, as like a relatively newer member of the Ohio State kind of Splatoon scene, right? What's your experience been kind of coming into it?
I mean, I've kind of loved every part of it. It's been a very, very enjoyable experience. I've met some of my closest friends through the club, like Jason here.
Okay.
And, when I originally joined Gray and played through a season, which was last spring, we finished the season and I was like, we're not really like a club yet. And I just said, we should probably try to do that. So I started the talks on all that stuff. And ever since then, obviously we've grown a lot. And that's been a really, really enjoyable experience to like be able to be a part of running that entire organization. So, yeah.
No, that's great. Just like getting that more official routing is of course important where you can. And a lot of different colleges have their own takes on how that goes about too. So it's good to hear that you're trying to figure out, what can we do to try to have some more permanent roots here, hopefully at Ohio. So great stuff. Yeah. So let's go back a bit more full circle to some of our earlier talks, right? So current CCA season, we have playoffs, on the horizon. Like for you both, literally tomorrow, you're going to be playing your first quarterfinals match, right? So what are you anticipating heading into it? How's kind of the season led to where you are right now?
I mean, I won't get into it, but we had a bit of a rocky start.
Yeah.
Because we could never get all of us here, and we have not practiced with all permutations of our 5-person roster. But I think we're like a solidly like we're in a groove right now, and I think we can keep it up.
Yeah. The rocky start was, thankfully it only lasted a week. But then we kind of found our groove and started to play like exceptionally well against probably the better teams in our group. And
I think specifically I think it was California Rollers that set. I remember we lost the first game and I was getting into kind of like but we did then we started I don't know, we started going crazy and I was like, oh, thank God. Because we lost our first set and then we're going this one like, oh, are we actually going to get creamed in Div 2 this time?
Oh, no.
We're okay.
You're chilling.
We're chilling.
You're 3-2, but you're chilling.
I'm chilling.
Yeah. So you mentioned that there was a crazy tiebreaker that kind of happened. you want to talk about that a little bit?
I mean, wasn't it California Rollers that we're both 3-2, and I think we won that set, so that means we continue?
California Rollers is also in the playoffs.
Yes, but they're a wild card.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Yeah, they got the wild card funny bump.
Yeah, I like how they had to make like the top teams in both groups play each other. Really funny.
Yeah, aren't like some of these groups like, I think Reef Runners and California Rollers are like up together round 1.
Yeah.
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 And they've already fought.
And we have to play against Towson round 1.
Oh yeah. Oh shoot, that's right. Yeah, Towson Tiger Sharks.
Us and Towson are going to be together like at the end of the world. We fought like every time we've been in the league together. Like circuit, we fought like what?
2, 3 times. A million times.
And then we fought in entrance exam, and here we are again.
Yeah, how's that shaken up so far? Are you guys typically the ones coming out on top, or is it a bit more even than that?
At the start it was them.
Yeah, at the start they creamed us every time.
And then I think the last few times we've barely dropped a map to them.
Oh heck yeah, okay.
Almost.
There you go.
Almost.
Yeah. So entrance exam, I think the most recent one, and we did do pretty well then. So I'm hoping that happens again.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I think if I remember, they play like a really aggressive roller. And
they do.
We
like,
dealing with that is
we have plans for that roller.
Yeah. We got plans.
Yeah.
You're scheming.
It's the kind of thing that we have to like, okay, everything we do must be in service of not letting the roller scramble our eggs.
Yeah, I mean, this episode is going to come out after this match occurs. So hopefully this ages well. Hopefully, fingers crossed, this all ages well for your guys' sake. But yeah, so sounds like you're pretty confident going into the next match. But overall, I mean, Ohio's kind of been on the up and up, really, recently, between like more teams, Scarlet performing really well, the other teams finding their footing, right? Really good stuff to see. Where do you kind of envision things going from here with both your scene and both of you guys as players, even?
That's actually, I'm thinking about that often because, like I said, I'm graduating.
Yeah.
And I believe one of our other members is stepping down to focus on life stuff. So Scarlet's going to get a major shakeup next season. But I know we have like some people in our server are like high schoolers, like prospective high schoolers, and some of them are like really cracked. So I'm hoping like next year we can, like Scarlet's still going to be on the up and up. I'm hoping.
Since I'm going to be one of the main officers in the Splatoon club, I really want to see the club grow, and I hope that next fall we can get an influx of new competitive players, so that way, with our changes that will be happening soon, we can at least get proper replacements for those people that will be leaving.
Yeah, just kind of continuing like some of the momentum that's been there, trying to make sure knowledge isn't lost, right? Yeah. That's a big thing, because you might every now and then get like that huge person or two that's coming in almost carrying the whole scene, and it's like, well, you don't want it to just all fizzle out because that person's gone, right? So that's important too.
I think one of Scarlet's like biggest strengths is that we're all pretty similar in skill level, like considering, you know, a Collegiate team. So I'm hoping like, even though we're gonna have some major shakeups, I think we can still like have that good baseline.
Have some consistency there for sure. Do you envision like the Scarlet name continuing, or is that something that might retire potentially?
I never thought about that. I do think about how a lot of schools have cooler team names than ours. But I mean, it ain't broke, and it is not broke. It might be lame, but it's not broke.
Scarlet's a fun name.
It's fun.
It's a fun name, but yeah, that's always something that I think is interesting to think about, because some schools, they do kind of continue on certain names, right? So it's typically the ones where you more have your colors, like SplatScad Black, for instance, with you guys, OnSU White, Gray, Scarlet, and quite a few other examples. That typically stays a bit more consistent, but then you have other instances of like at Purdue, like you got ITAP, plenty of other teams out there like Reef Runners and whatnot, who it's something that's like very kind of independently unique, and they might choose to kind of attempt to continue it on, like maybe someone's a sophomore and it's like, oh, I want to keep the name. But yeah, it's interesting stuff to know, I guess, right? I guess Zoe, kind of as a, you know, a big officer kind of coming in more to play, especially in the future, right? What are your goals that you really want to see with your local scene and just the growth you're hoping to kind of achieve, really?
I really want us to have a presence within the CCA that is like very well known, like how everybody knows Purdue and stuff like that.
I want to be a big dog.
Yeah.
Big dog.
I mean,
big bird.
A big dog in the sense that we are a school that everybody likes and hopefully looks up to. So I really want to see our growth as a club be positive and like more liked rather than more feared, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense for sure. That's something that, I don't know, I haven't really thought about either before, like how different colleges maybe impact the growth of other ones. Because I think that was something that maybe was prevalently a thing like early on in collegiate, where you kind of had a few schools setting an example and others being like, oh, well, let's try to like play off this a little bit. Or like, this is how it's sort of done, so maybe you try to do the same way. But now we've reached a point where with the CCA right now in season 6, there are over 160 teams playing from like over 120 different colleges. So it's like, well, what happens now, right? There's a lot of different like grassroots scenes. There's some more official organizations. It's really all over the board. Like some of them have like intense support. Like they can just pull up to a LAN whenever they want and all their fees are covered, right? Some of them are like, well, sorry, you're on your own. We're not helping you at all, which is unfortunate, but it's just, I don't know. That's a whole other dynamic too. Is that something that it sounds like you're trying to do your best to try to anticipate and put yourselves in the best spot moving forward too, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we can get those funds so we can go to Riptide in September.
Heck yeah. Your
Club
funds
status.
Covered.
Yeah.
Club status is hopefully going to cover that, because so far this has been all out of us.
Yeah.
No, I feel that for sure. When I was a student here at Purdue, we did not get that much stuff covered. So you do what you can, I guess, right, to try to make it all work out best you are able to. But kind of like looking to wrap up our conversation a little bit, I wanted to ask like really basic question. Like we're zooming out big time now. Like we've been really focused on Ohio State, some CCA stuff. What does Collegiate Splatoon mean to both of you?
I actually think about, like, I already have an answer thought out for this question. Is
Okay.
Collegiate has always been like, I always see it as like a gateway into the wider scene, because I feel like if you limit yourself, you're like, you can't go to college forever. But I think it's a good way to get, like, when I got into competitive in general, it was through CCA. And there was no, like, I've never had to impress anybody. I just had to be at a college and want to play with my friends. And, like, you could go get lunch with them.
Okay.
And I feel like that, like, low barrier of entry of just, like, being motivated and owning the game.
Yeah.
Is, like, it makes it a lot less scary, because you have friends going in. But I feel like if when CCA teams, like, join Ludi or whatever, or, like meet up with other people at LANs, like, especially, like, Riptide, I think that's my favorite thing, because I think I love this sub community, but I feel like the link to them, like the bond like you make with everyone else, is the most important part.
No, absolutely, for sure. Zoe, any thoughts of your own?
So before I joined the club, I had absolutely no clue about any form of Splatoon competitive, and I started playing actual competitive after I joined. Yeah.
Real.
After my first season with Gray, and ever since then I have met so many amazing people through the CCA. Some of my absolute favorite people in the world. Shout out Arctan.
Heck yeah.
I've met through the CCA, and I've even formed teams or pickups that I play frequently with from the CCA itself. So like I've been able to like find my group of people that I can hang out with, and I think the CCA is just like a very, very wonderful community, and I think that it is a perfect place to start for competitive.
Yeah, no, I think I completely agree on that note too. That was my starting point too with Collegiate for the longest time, all the way back in season 1 of CCA, which is insane to think about. That makes me feel old. But yeah, just like I don't know, there's so many cool people you can meet in Collegiate. I mean, I've met like both of you, for instance. I've met like plenty of the other people who are going to be at the Purdue Invitational today. I've met like people that have potentially become like lifelong friends even. It's like really cool to see like how well connected you can get, because I don't think there's really that many opportunities out there, like especially with other esports and their formalized leagues. It like there's guardrails in place to like make sure, hey, like we're like running this tournament, like this is what we expect out of you to like participate. But there's a lot of more community options that I think a lot of other scenes even really offer. So no, really love both of those points. Definitely resonates with me too. I guess one final question for you both for now. What are you looking to get out of the Invitational today? What are you hoping to achieve? Do you think you got this one in the bag? Any thoughts?
I want to win.
Yeah.
I think we can do it.
We've had a lot of conversations about today, and we think our biggest op is ISU.
The Red Embers.
Yeah.
Big Red Embers.
But
oh, gets one. Oh my God, guys, it's a hammer throw!
It's hammer time, and it looks like that's a 3-0
OnSU Scarlet has
sweep
picked
for
up
OnSU
the
Scarlet.
Rainmaker and is running backwards. They are running into their spawn. That is
And
game.
that's game. That's the set. With a 3-0 upset, OnSU Scarlet taking this game.
honestly, we just really want to go out there and have fun.
Okay.
At the end of the day, so as long as we can have a good time and maybe get a little silly.
I think we can kick some butt.
Yeah.
I can't lie.
Yeah.
No, for sure. Last year we had the Michigan takeover.
Yeah.
Also casual appearances from people like Basil who just rolled up and were like, hello. And it's like, oh, hi. But no, definitely really fun stuff. Looking forward to seeing both of you play, of course, earlier and hanging as well. Looking forward to seeing all the other amazing teams for the Purdue Invitational today. There's going to be mostly the same teams from last year. You got a lot of the same Purdue faces. You got MTSU is back with Skyfall and their B team. You got the Red Embers. We got Ohio State, both Scarlet and Gray. And then Rising Moon from Purdue Fort Wayne is making a first-time appearance. And then we also got Michigan State with their current flagship team, the... So,
Interesting name.
Yeah, very interesting name.
I thought that was our thing.
Yeah, oh yeah. The Ohio State. Yeah, you're right. All right, well, that's enough. On that note, thank you both for joining me today for our special edition episode of the podcast here at the Purdue Invitational.
Yeah.
It's great to have you both. Great to chat a little bit, kind of get understanding what's going on behind the scenes, what we can expect moving forward too. And we hope to see you play later today. And that's going to be all. Thank you.